members, and welcome to the PopCultureCult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
Jesus Christ. Welcome to our new series called Now We Know. I might be able to talk at, I don't know, we need cocktails.
We're only on the third one
today.
Of
this, yeah. And this is where we go back and we watch old trailers to see how they hold up, if they give us any hints, secrets, whatever, that kind of thing, spoil anything. And we're doing we're currently in phase 2 of the MCU, and now we're on to Captain America: Winter Soldier. And this is widely considered the best of the whole MCU.
Yep.
This is the first time we get a genre a comic book movie using a different genre, a different theme. It's a spy movie.
Oh yeah.
So this is the kind of the start of, we're doing comic book heroes, but we're doing them more inside a
time heist, spy movie.
Yeah. We get a heist movie with Ant-Man when we get to go forward and that kind of stuff. But this is widely considered one of the best. It's probably in my top 5 or 7 or whatever, which I might have to go back and redo my list now that we've done a bunch of these.
Yes, it is definitely up there in my top 5, just off the top of my head. I would say it's in my, because, I mean, spoilers, audibly gasped when Bucky takes his mask off, because we, unlike other people in the party that we went to see this movie with, we did not know.
Right.
And I no.
Yeah.
In the middle of the movie.
Our buddy, actually Josh, who's a part of the, a Pop Culture Cult, he's the Star Wars intern. He was with us, and he turned and looked at both of us like, "What, you didn't know?" I'm like, "No, we haven't read the comic. We're just liking the cool movies." So here we go. Here's our trailer reaction to. I'm gonna keep just with hand movements. It's me. Here's our trailer reaction to Captain America: Winter Soldier, and go. That's not appropriate for all audiences.
Except him.
No, I'm inappropriate.
Most of the intelligence community doesn't believe he exists.
He doesn't.
The ones that do call him the Winter Soldier.
Roll credit.
He's a ghost. You'll never find him.
Well, or he'll find you.
Join S.H.I.E.L.D. to protect people. Captain, to build a better world, sometimes means tearing the old one down. And that makes enemies.
Cool guys, step away from explosions.
He's fast. Strong. Had a metal arm.
And a metal arm. Somebody give me that arm.
Okay.
All it takes is one step. People are gonna die. I can't let that happen. Captain America needs my help. When do we start? We just did.
Here, hold this.
High. And it's a price I'm willing to pay. You told me not to trust anyone. This is how it ends. Everything goes.
Still one of the coolest scenes.
Giving the orders now, Captain.
Damn right.
I love how the shield's up.
If they're shooting at you, they're bad.
Got it.
It is my birthday.
Unless you're me playing Fortnite, sometimes I accidentally shoot at my own people.
That's fair.
Sorry. So I would like to see this one a little slower in a couple places because I'm wondering if they actually showed Bucky's face.
There's a couple spots where you're like, oh, like the mask is gone and stuff.
Yeah. Did they just show it fast enough that you didn't?
We weren't paying attention enough for when when it first came out, and so it's interesting. Like all of this is actually in the movie.
Yep.
We get Robert Redford as the head of Hydra. This is when we get the Hydra. The modern Hydra reveal happens in Winter Soldier,
right?
Which directly affected Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So watching all of that go on was really cool because we were deep into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at that point in time.
Well, and this one is maybe the first one that I really noticed the trust no one and the shield symbol and and
they were putting it all out in front,
they were putting it out there and we just had no idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And part of the reason why this one is so good is because of that, because they did put everything out in front of us, and then the switch happens and the Hydra reveal happens, and it changes everything that happens within the MCU moving forward from here.
Yep.
And it was just this changes everything, and then when we get through Ultron, that changes everything again, because then it sets it up for Civil War, and Civil War is really the first. Can we actually have all of these characters be in a movie together? And that kind of groundwork was laid here because we get Falcon, we get Winter Soldier, we get Fury being a much bigger part of the storytelling process. Natasha's really like kind of Cap's sidekick at this point in time, and then it kind of transfers into being Falcon and just the spy elements. It's and like the CGI, the helicarriers look amazing, and the bridge scene where he's on the motorcycle and he throws his shield is awesome, and and they show the beginnings and the end of the elevator fight with the Hydra guys, and that's interesting that they showed that. They show Redford, who it's Robert Redford, so he's just straight out amazing,
right?
But he's a bigger part. He's a supporting character in this movie, but he's a bigger part of the movie,
right?
And he's only kind of hinted at a couple of times in this trailer.
Right.
A lot of it is about Captain, about the Winter Soldier, and like the conflict that was going on between all.
Yeah, I remember going into the movie not really thinking that Robert Redford was going to be much of a character other than the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. At the time, and then at the end you're like, oh my god, he was like the major protagonist in this movie. I also, just watching this, kind of realized in phase one, all the movies were for the most part pretty fun, pretty happy, there was stuff going on, right? But comic book movies more less
lighthearted,
deep, deep, less dark. And as we've gotten into phase two, they are dark. And now you going back and watching them, you kind of understand this is where everything changed. We went from, woohoo, doing comic book on multiple levels, right? Changed for the characters, changed for us as an audience watching these, and the MCU kind of in its evolution. There we go. And that's not a correct word.
Involvement works.
Involvement.
I make up words all the time.
All words are made up.
That's true. Thank you, Drax.
So it kind of hit me while we were watching this.
Yeah. It's definitely it's. And which is really funny because the next movie that came out was Guardians,
right?
And that one is,
and you're like, what?
Very different than everything else that we'd seen up to this point. So
on multiple levels,
yeah, which we'll get into on the next trailer reaction. But this one, like, just the now there's stakes, and that was, I think, one of the complaints that a lot of people had about the MCU going through everything, that's that there was no real stakes to anything, and this was the first. Although we didn't have anybody necessarily die, there were consequences to decisions that Cap and Falcon and Natasha all make in this movie.
Yeah. Well, even in Iron Man 3, you start to understand, which was the beginning of phase 2, you start to understand that everything that happened to Tony and everybody else in the previous, like with Avengers and New York and all of that, has stakes.
Yeah.
He's worried about Pepper. He's worried about, himself and all that. So yeah, this definitely, I think as it was happening, we were just like, okay, cool. But now looking back, we're like, this is a clear cut.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is really, I think, when Kevin Feige really starts, I mean, he was involved with phase 1 and stuff like that. But this is, I think, where he really is like, this means we can do this going to the next step and this and that, because we're going to go going forward. And even though we had laid some groundwork for the Infinity Stones, this was one of the ones where like we need to be able to tell this overall narrative story overall, and this is just one episode of it, and it happens to be this is the spy version, and that's really when I felt that this is starting to go through. So that's our thoughts on Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Now We Know edition. What did you guys think? What do you think of this trailer, the reaction to it, everything else? Please tell us in the comments. Be nice. It's a requirement. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. And follow us on all the social media stuff. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And, share with your friends.
Yes.
Because we're all stuck inside, so give them something to watch. So, all right. Until next time, cult members, if we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.